And then let's keep going down this rabbit hole we started yesterday. We've been critical of how the bars tend to drop the ball sometimes on trying to get promo stuff right and help get butts in seats. But that goes for bands as well. You know, I see tons of bands who just think because they are who they are, people are magically going to show up at their show. No, you do still have a responsibility to put butts in seats. That's what dictates your worth and your value, okay? That's what, you know, lays the foundations of your perceived value from the club and even the audience's perspective. So all your band members should be, you know, posting on social media regularly. All your band members should be talking about, you should be posting stuff from your rehearsals, you know, talking about working up new music and everyone's laughing and you create this atmosphere of energy and joy. You know, that draws people to that. People don't want to come see a bunch of stage statues that stand around and look like they're hating life for being there, or they just stepped out of their cubicle with their Dockers and their, you know, polo shirt and look like everybody else in the room. I got a buddy of mine who says that if you're in the band, when you walk in the room, everyone should know that you're in the band just by the way you dress. You should look different than everyone else in the room. And I see bands out in the club scene all the time that look like they're there to audit the club, you know? Or they just got out of bed and they're still in their freaking pajamas and you just look like somebody from Walmart, not someone who showed up to play some music, you know? So, I mean, there's both sides of that. But the band has a responsibility, too, to get online and be doing the things that they need to be doing, really to be pushing all their gigs. And you have to understand, most of that stuff is just costing you your time. You know, back in the day, we used to have to hand out or send someone around the room to write down people's, you know, snail mail address, and we would mail them stuff. Like, there was a financial investment in trying to network before the internet. You don't realize how hard that was. We went to clubs and put up posters. I still think posters work, man, especially if you have a club that has, you know, 150, 200 people a day going through the place with their food and beverage, you know, business. Why aren't you giving them posters? Posters are super cheap and easy to make and get to the club, man. I mean, there's anything you can do to help get butts in seats. And don't think for a second that the club owner doesn't recognize the bands that do these things right and prioritize them on their calendar. Agents are the same way. Agents see and watch that stuff online, and they will prioritize the bands that work hardest to get butts in seats when it comes time to book their venues. I know it's a hard pill to swallow sometimes. It's hard to look in the mirror and see the warts. But when we don't look in the mirror and we don't see the warts, then we end up getting stagnated and we wonder why we're not growing.